Yeah, so I normally, when we're talking about freelancing and networking and job hunting, I normally use the red car model, if you've ever heard of it. So if I were to ask you, if I were to put you guys in a room right now, and then ask you how many red cars you saw for the last one, will you be able to answer? Will you be able to know the exact number that you saw in the past 1 week? Just quick answers in the chat box. How many did you see? How many red cards did you see this week, the past week? Just some random answers in the chat box. Let me see. How many red cards did you see for the past 1 week? John says, Mr. Bengo says 1. Wendy says 5. You are literally counting red cards. Or when you walk out, you just think. Somebody says 7. Hope. Mother says 3. Okay. But in real sense, are you sure you actually saw a total of 7 red cards, or 3 red cards, or 1 red card? Physically or in a show? You're saying physically, or maybe in a show, it doesn't matter. Or are you just keen to know that this was a red card and you are keen to count that in this week I've seen this number? So I believe what we are getting here are hypothetical values. We are not actually sure. Is there somebody who is really like they are sure, they're quite sure that they just saw 7 red cards for the past 1 week? Just give me a thumbs up if you are very sure. Okay, so seems like nobody is sure. So this is what I'm saying. Normally, opportunities don't come to you, and if you don't open your eyes, and if you are not looking, you'll never see. And if you're not looking seriously, like somebody said, they only saw one red card. You'll only see one opportunity, and then the next time you're seeing another opportunity, the next 10, 2 years, and you're like, I did this course, or I did this, I did information technology, but now it's useless. I'm not using it. Are you really looking? And if you're looking, are you looking in the right place? Because you can't tell me you saw red cars back in the village in the bush, right? You don't expect to see cars there. So the red car model actually just reminds us that opportunities don't come to you. If you don't open your eyes to see them, you won't see them. And you won't even be able to keep a track of how many opportunities pass by that you don't see daily. So my encouragement for today before we start this is that start opening your eyes to all the opportunities that pass by. Get out there, look for them. Then you realize that there are more jobs than we can actually. If you get outside here, you realize that there are so many jobs, but there are no developers to occupy those spaces. But why? Because there's, we'll talk about that in this, but there's that trust and entry level thing with the companies. So I don't trust you as a company to deliver, and you trust yourself to deliver. So you see that it normally brings a problem, not that the jobs are not there. So I'm told the speaker is in. So allow me to invite our speaker. But before that, let me talk about Bengo Hub. Bengo Hub is a tech startup in Kisumu, actually a hub, upcoming hub. It's been there for, I think, the past 1 year. We've been doing online courses, coaching the youth, probably right from Form 4 leaver to college or up to university level. So if maybe you didn't do a course that is related to IT, and you know that with the current economy, you realize that with IT, you can get a job almost anywhere. Talk about hospital, talk about anywhere. I mean, IT is everywhere. So you realize that that shift to IT, with IT, at least you are like 80% guaranteed that if you don't get employed, at least you can get a freelance job that is well paid. So we've been doing in at Bengo Hub, we've been offering a free Python course. And then after that, we offer a full stack software engineering course, where you get to learn how to become a full stack developer, right from backend to front end development. Yeah, so that is a brief about Bengo. We do so many other things that I think we will talk about at the end of this when we'll be finalizing. But because of time, allow me to invite our speaker for today. That is Elijah Cheruiyot, to also chime in and shed some light about freelancing. So Elijah is working with AJIRA Kenya as a trainer. So if you've heard of AJIRA before, you definitely know that you're in the right place and this is the right guy to tell you more about freelancing. And if you signed up for the AJIRA mailing list, you will probably get some gigs from AJIRA when opportunities or job opportunities open in different companies. So welcome, Elijah. I hope you can hear me. Elijah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. You can take it away.
Sasa, thank you so much, Tim. Thank you for getting me to speak with you this day. I'm so glad. I'm so happy to meet you all. Um, as you have heard about my name is Elijah Cheruiyot. I'm a trainer with the AJIRA Digital Program. My background spans in IT. I know we are in the field of IT, and we normally talk about what can we do in the field of IT. There
Kibe,
are several things
kina
that we
mogo.
are doing, and I will be just going across as we are going with the session. We'll be able to touch each and every part that will entail it for you, and also for you as an eye opener, because there are a lot of things that are happening in our tech space. Digital space is wide. It has large pools of jobs, especially when you are very proactive, because things do change. The way we were analyzing items the other years are not the same as whatever we are viewing in these coming years, and also the other years that will come. Because technology shifts, it changes day in, day out, and that is why we need to update ourselves to match the demand. So introducing myself, I said I work with the AJIRA Digital Program. I've been with them for the last 3 years. Before then, I was working with KRA and Tax Appeal Tribunal, and also Prestation Digital Talent Program as an intern. I've worked with other organizations like One Acre Fund, for those who know One Acre Fund, and the other one goes to scale systems, developing systems for the application. That those are where I have practiced my career. At the same time, also, I'm a graduate from Moi University, BSc Computer Science, and also MSc Computer IT from JQuad. Those are my area. And I majorly do AI and machine learning as the area of my research. Thank you so much, Tim. I know some of you we have met, if not all. I know some other names. Maybe the name that I'm seeing on the screen is synonymous with your name. Then that is what I always do. As I'm speaking, I'm handling some session of mobile app in Kipapi University. There are some students that I were training. So mobile app and others, that is why we are talking about the field of technology. Before even I come to what you call freelancing, that whatever we're doing, like when it comes to Android, using maybe Java and Kotlin. Nowadays, you have Jetpack combos, and that is why we are saying technology do changes. Whatever we were doing long time ago, other applications are coming, and that is why, as a developer, as an IT person, you need to confirm yourself with the latest technologies. That is my take to you. that we need to make sure that, yes, even as we are being mentored, you need to be switching from one area to one area or to another, at least for you to remain relevant. And also, I will be able to share the platforms that we can use to get remote jobs internationally. Because yes, you can be having the skills, but now the area that you can use it to showcase your skills is limited. And that is why we are talking about freelancing. Freelancing is whereby we go online, we search for the platforms that are offering us remote jobs internationally. There are several that can offer you jobs specifically that are tailored for IT. Others are having what you call general platforms jobs like Upwork. Most of us have heard about Upwork. Upwork is a platform that can oversee jobs according to every expertise. But if you go to like Pinterest, that one is specifically for programmers. You go to a platform called eMobilis, that also is only for developers. You come to a platform like apart from Brain Trust, we have another one that was developed by Alan Turing, Turing platform. It also belongs to developers, and that is why from there you can get development jobs. That is what you are talking about. So as you are starting this session, I introduced myself as a freelancer. So a freelancer simply means people who are working online. Before I joined AJIRA, I was working with one platform. I know most of us heard about Upwork long time ago. Nowadays, it might be a challenge for you to get the job simply because as through the AJIRA Digital program, we started trading Upwork to trainees, and that is why it got flattered. So simply means there are a lot of people who have joined this platform. There are a lot of people who are looking for their kicks, and that is why at times it may take time for you to acquire that single first job. And that is why we are saying long time ago, before the introduction of trainings to trainees in various capacity, then the platform was doing quite good, quite fine for some that had joined before, and it got some lots of jobs for them to do, and that is why they were able to walifuna sana kutoka hiyo platform. But we are saying also there are other platforms that are coming up because this is a world of technology. So other platforms are being generated, and that is why also we need to check skills, or we need to showcase the skills on this platform. So that was a general overview. So we are going now to see how we are going to implement, or what you call the overview of freelancing in tech field. So the first thing that you're going to do as a developer, for example, when you're joining a platform like Upwork, let me just showcase maybe using Upwork as an a platform, as a single platform that we may talk about it here. So the first thing that you need to get it well before you join this platform are what are your expertise, because you need to measure, or you need to showcase your high-end expertise. What do you offer? Because if I say, for example, I'm going to do programming, what kind of programming language am I good at? That is the first thing, because you can get clients who are going to tell you to develop some websites, and from then you can now start by saying which programming language am I going to use, and all those. So that is why we are saying the first thing is to understand your talent and skills. Which skills do you have? Itafika kwa category gani? Then that is the first thing that you need to show to clients, because sometimes a client will tell you, yes, you are good in reactive JS and all those. So showcase it as, or show us how you are developing. That is the first step. Even on that brain trust platform that I was talking about, the first thing that they can do to you is to interview you as a person. So when they are interviewing you, they will be able now to gauge you and say you have indeed the skills for you to undertake that job. But if you don't have the skills, then from that point, they will not be able to proceed with your application. So the first thing is to make sure that you showcase your skills. Number two is what you call portfolio. Sometimes in Upwork, we have what you call portfolio. Portfolio simply means what have you done apart from what you are talking about online freelancing jobs. Kule nje, you said yourself you're a proclaimer. You said you know how to develop apps. You said you have developed some website. So when you say portfolio, portfolio simply means your profile. You generate those profiles to say, I'm a website developer. Showcase your talent by saying, I have developed a certain website for a certain organization, and my input was this one, the output was this one, and that website was performing a certain functionality. That is why we are saying portfolio. Portfolio is simply something that I can go across and say, yes, indeed, Elijah said is a developer. Kule GitHub account. Do you have any course that can show you are a developer? Then from that point, we'll be able now to say you have that portfolio. And when you are generating portfolio in your profile, it doesn't mean that you are going to upload or to share every code. You can just put it in a case scenario, like in Upwork. You can just go in Upwork and say you are a developer and you are leading a group of persons or personnel to develop some apps. And in that app, you are developing the apps to solve a certain problem. Then you can tell us how you are able to solve that problem and which method did you use to solve the problem, and now your output. So that is why we are saying portfolio. So when you go to that Upwork, let me just, I'm sharing that platform. So the first thing that you need to do is to set up step-by-step process on how to build up that profile. So the moment you are going to add a portfolio and certification in Upwork, then your profile can be having an upper hand to the client, because we have what you call certification. Certifications is like certificates that you have acquired through Google. So sometimes you can have certificates that you acquire through Google. What you are going to do is you share, or you upload your certificate to online, and you share the link. You are not going to share the whole certificate, but we rather share the link. So if I have a certificate that I did it through Google Africa or under Google Analytics, then I will just share the link where I can obtain my certificate, and you can share to Upwork. From there, Upwork can now verify you as a developer. I think that one, my point is quite clear. So sometimes you can be having these free certifications offered under Google. So when you sign up for the certification, you did a course and you have completed your course and you have obtained that certificate and you have Upwork account, you can share to Upwork that certification, because it will boost your visibility. There's something what you call visibility. When we go and apply for these jobs through, or what you call submitting proposals for this client, clients normally wants to work with people who can provide the right output. So from there, the client can go to your profile, and anaiangalia you have a certification through Google. So it simply means you are certified. Then at that point, you can be having an upper hand. Then another thing when it comes to these platforms, we normally say the faster you are in that internet, because when you submit our proposals, we have to remain firm to make sure that you can get a message coming from the client anytime. So I know the mistakes that you normally do is by applying a job or submitting a proposal in Upwork and leaving your devices to be off for a quite longer time. But if you are, most of the time you are in online and you have seen a job proposal from a client and you have all the requirements. Requirements simply means you have the skills, you have the experience, you are meeting the client's demands, and you have gone through the job description to understand in detail what are you going to do and how long are you going to do that kind of a task. Then, if you are sure you are meeting all the client's requirements, you can now go to what you call cover letter. You draft a cover letter. Cover letter simply means like an application letter, but rather in our cover letter, we don't write PO box addresses. You only address a client directly. So you need to make sure that when you are writing that cover letter, understand what the client was describing about a freelancer that he or she wants to work with, the skills that the client talked about, and also the expertise. So you can tailor your cover letter to almost showcase that you have all the requirements, what the client is talking about. Then you can now draft your cover letter. We always say make sure you write a simple, short cover letter. Don't write length letters, but just make sure that you draft a simple, short cover letter. then you can send to the client. Another thing that will add to your profile also is what we call ratings. And sometimes when you got that client, make sure you are given ratings. Rating simply means a client will rate you according to what you did. So if you do a quality job, a client will rate you as a top rated freelancer. If you do a bad job, a client will not rate you whatsoever. So that is why we are saying you have to make sure that you are delivering good quality tasks, so that you are in a good books with a client. Allow me just to share a platform just that is in Upwork. So I'm just going to share this platform and we go through together on the aspect of sourcing for jobs. How are we going to see the jobs that are shared by the client? So I'm sharing the platform. So we are here. So this is a platform like Upwork. So here, I know the first thing that you're going to see is Upwork profile. So in this Upwork profile, I said Upwork is a general bidding platform that offers jobs according to every expertise. If you're a graphic designer, you can get a job here. If you're a data analyst, you can get a job here. If you're a transcriber, you can get a job here. So what you are going to do is when you are joining Upwork, the first thing that you need to do is to state your expertise. I can say I'm a web developer. So if I say I'm a web developer while joining this platform, when it comes to here, I will come now and source for a web development job. I can say web developer job or web design and all those, it's almost the same. So when you click that one, you will be provided with web development jobs only, because that is your area of interest or your field. Because I joined the platform using maybe a category of web developer. So when it comes to here, I will specifically apply for web development jobs. The profile and the job proposal should be merged. Your title should match with what you are going to look at in Upwork. My profile should be talking about web developer and not in other title. So you have to make sure that the first title that you're going to use is the kinds of jobs that you're going to look. Your title should not be like data analyst and you are looking for web development jobs, because while we are creating Upwork, the title that is step 1 and step 7 should be merging. Step 1 is talking about expertise, like what kind of expertise are you going to have? I can say I'm a web developer, that is my area of expertise. 2, we are talking about skills for web developer. 3 is talking about employee education. um 3, not even 3, but 3 is talking about experience and 4 is talking about education. So step 3 is talking about experience in a minutia. I know someone may say, I'm new to this industry. Experience are things that you can even gather outside freelancing arena. So you can say after maybe doing your studies, or you're still doing your studies, you can be a developer. You have developed your apps, you have developed your website, you have the codes, you have deposited it in GitHub and all those. So what are you going to do? You can be you can say you have that experience because you know how to work in designing these items that you're talking about. If you say I'm a data analyst, for example, you can be having that experience by doing analyzing other items outside Apple. So you have experience. So you can just tell us what kind of experience do you have. You can go to step 4, we talk about education. Step 5, we talk about employment. Step 6, we talk about languages that we speak English and Swahili. Step 7, we talk about professional overview. So professional overview is what a client is going to fit on your profile. Your title and the professional overview, step 1 and step 7, are the key things that client will view it on your profile. So you have to make sure that you craft a good professional overview. Professional overview is almost equal to biography. So you can state your experience, your skills, and your commitment. I can say I'm a web developer with 7 years of experience doing web development tasks. Using this programming language, ABCD, I have developed samples of maybe website for a certain organization XYZ. My skills are all the items or all the websites that I develop are 100% working, and I made the customer satisfaction. They were happy, maybe for example, after I had developed for them. That is what the client is going to view it in your profile. So they will be able to say we are engaging with this person. The other steps, it will not be able to be viewed by client, like the amount that you are charging is something that, because you can say you are charging $30, you can get a job that is paying $10, you can do it. So the amount that you are charging client doesn't matter necessarily in Apple. What matters is your profile and the expertise that you have. The other steps is talking about maybe how to import a profile for passport, the location and details that you are coming from. So ISO, I know it's basically the same for all of us, but step 1 and step 7 matters. So when you have developed or created that account, it can be approved or rejected. So once it is approved, you can now go to what you call profile setting, and you can now add certification and portfolio. Certification simply means, I said, you can obtain certificates from any platform like Coursera. You can obtain certification through Udemy. You can obtain certification under Core Analytica. Then all those certificates that you have obtained, you can now come and add in Upwork through the link. So what are you going to do? Yes, you can download that certificate. Then you can have your Google Drive. You take your certificate to the Google Drive. You obtain the link to your Google Drive and you share it in Upwork under certification. They will be able to verify that you have some certification. Remember, whatever I'm talking about is what you call competing on this profile. We have several freelancers, so we are competing. The way we are going to outshine others is by coming with different ideas. So different ideas simply means you can come with your certification to say I'm a certified developer. Others, then it simply means if I say I'm a certified developer under Microsoft, then it simply means I obtained by doing examination and by submitting my projects. So it simply means it gives me some added advantage over others. We are now at this place. We want to submit our proposal. For those who are talking about proposal, we are talking about how are we going to submit our tasks or jobs. So here you can see the way the jobs are listed. I can come to this number 2 and say I want to be a web developer for online school website. These are specifications that a client is giving us. Develop a responsive and visually appealing website for the online school and a mobile-friendly website. So the first thing that you are going to go through here is to understand what the client is requiring from you. Create a secure payment gateway for course enrollment. Implement user registration and login functionality. So the first one, umeambiwa to just develop a responsive and visually appealing website. So when you talk about a visually appealing, we are talking about things like color theory. How your website is it appealing to us is by using colors that are not mixing. Don't use what you call color mixing. So colors that are appealing are colors that can make you to read through, to see the pictures that are in that website. Everything will be looking nice. So don't assume, for example, if I'm a developer, the colors that I have to use should be brighter colors and not dull colors. Remember, you can be having people who are short-sighted and long-sighted. You can go to any website and you can see, example is this one, Upwork. This is their website, for example. The colors that are here, you can see is white and black. Any person, be it if I am short-sighted or long-sighted, I can read through. So you have to make sure that colors that are appealing is the one that you can use it in to implement your website. Apart from that one, we normally test our color appealing or what you call a visibility uh, of our website through the color theory. We can test and say, yes, it's functioning well. Colors equals are required in 2 languages, Arabic and English. Don't mind, you can just design your website in English, then you can incorporate Google translators. Implement user registration and login functionality. That one, yes, you can do it. You can just have that one, user and registration. Create a secure payment gateway for course enrollment. So you need to ask yourself here, the moment you are going downwards, things might be changing, especially like this one. I can say I want to create a secure payment gateway for course enrollment. You can incorporate in that website what you call API. So when someone's click on that course residual payment, what it does is to make sure that a person can see the courses and the amount it charges per each course. So if you are ready to register for that course, you can register and you click pay, and you can receive a code on your phone, or what you call M-Pesa pin, for you to enter the pin on your M-Pesa. So you need to be thinking outside the box for that client, because I know you can quote your cover letter and you write how you are going to design that payment method to be secure. There are ensure seamless integration with video conferencing tools for live class sessions. You can incorporate Zoom, you can incorporate others. Optimize the website for search engines to drive organic traffic. Provide ongoing maintenance and support for the website. So the item that we can see here that it may be hard a bit ni ya payment, na ya mwisho. Integration of video conferencing is not something that is hard. So having gone through all this one, and you know that you are qualifying for that job, we can now check how much dollars does the client pays you for $100. So your code, expertise, and now the last part here. What makes us most of the time to lose these clients are what you call activity on this job. You can see for now, the client is interviewing one person. Me a job directly. So what the client does is to make sure that it posts the job on the platform, then the client can reach to me and say so and so, apply for that job. This is the link, because we have that cardio relationship with the client. But this person, an answered invite sent or an answered invite is zero. So in Amanisha, that person who was given the link to apply for that job applied. And that is why you can see the unanswered invite is zero. So it simply means person whom the client has given him or her the link to apply and he applied. And that is why we are in assumption even that the person mwenye client alikuwa anataka is interviewing now. So that is why we always say we need to be very understanding on how these Upwork platforms work. So ikikuja kama ni hivyo, just allow me to say like that one. Then it simply means this client might be interviewing a person mwenye alikuwa anampendelea kazi afanye. And that is why don't even go ahead and bid for a job like this one. The client is like satisfied with that person mwenye alimpea link. Uh, you remember we have what you call connects, and you can see this job. It requires 12 connects for you to submit your proposal. 12 connects. Assuming you have 50, if you submit this task, you will remain, or if you submit your proposal, you will remain with 38. The moment you finish your connects, you will need to purchase. Tokosa, you need to purchase. So that is why we are economizing our connects, at the same time maximizing the number of jobs that you apply. So that is why we are saying if you meet all the requirements, you have seen everything and you are meeting, it is good to apply. Don't apply or don't submit your proposal for any kind of a task that you don't meet the requirements, because you are wasting your connects. Let me talk about connects. Connects are like virtual token. When you open your profile or when you open an Upwork account and other accounts, there are some accounts that will give you some connects. They are not calling it connects because there are other items they are calling. So when you open this one, you will be given 50 connects. Traditionally, they used to give us 30 connects. Then you can now start bidding for jobs. From May 2023, they started giving out 50 connects and a monthly addition of 10 connects. Each and every month, they used to give 10 connects. This year, January, they decided to say you are purchasing your connects while you are joining Apple. Hawakuwa wanapeana January this year. So they changed their terms and said this year, January, you will need to purchase connect for you to submit your proposal. Up to around March, they started giving out also wakarudisha to give out 50 connects, but it's not automatic like kitambo. They used to give you automatic 50 connects once you sign up for an account and your account has been approved. Nowadays, once you create your account and your account has been approved, it will take up to around 48 hours for you to be given connects, and they are 50. So just think about that one. That is why we are saying it requires you to make sure that when you are having every skills, expertise, and requirements that a client is requiring, then you can go ahead and you submit your proposal. The way you are going to submit your proposal is by clicking apply. And so when you apply, you can now come here, go through the job description. You have seen the amount the client is charging, all those. We can have here what you call milestone and by project. So this is a project that will take more than a month, was quite some time. You can negotiate with the client to pay you on milestone. Milestone is a division of your project. You can tell a client, these are 6 months work that I'm doing. After every month, evaluate what I've done, evaluate my task, and pay me according to a certain percentage. You can say, on the first month, pay me 10%. The second month, pay me 10%. That is what you call milestone. If you say by project, then it simply means you are going to wait for 6 months to complete your task for you to be given full amount. And that is why the moment I click by project, you can see it gives us total amount. But if I say by milestone, it is you to divide how long, assuming today is date 4th as June. So I can tell my client to pay me on 4th July a certain amount, like $40. Then it will be like that one. After every 1 month, then we'll be adding our milestone. So I said the first milestone, you pay me on July date for $10. On the second milestone, it will be on maybe a photo August $10, like that one. That is what you call by milestone. So I can say I want to be paid by milestone. You can select how long are you going to use it to deliver this task. I can say I'm giving my client between 1 to 3 months to complete my task. Then I come here and I draft my cover letter. So I can start by saying dear client. So we always say dear client. So I'm just going to explain other items that you're going to use. You can say dear client, you can say hello client, and you can just say who are you, what skills do you have, your experience, commitment, and the interest that you have. And you can even as well say, how are you going to deliver that task to the client? So I can say, I'm so and so with 5 years of experience. I'm maybe a website developer. I'm using this programming language connecting with what. So you have to showcase to that client as someone who understands from scratch to the end point the mambo na website design. You highlight everything inside. Then at that point, the moment you have written your cover letter, you can now come and submit your proposal. So submitting that proposal, it simply means you are sending your application. And that is why it will give us, if you have that portfolio and certificates that you are talking about, this is the time wameanzisha kuweka hapa chini, but tukienda kwa setting itakuwa inaonekana. So they have added here. Unaona, before you submit your proposal, you can add your certificate. So assuming that I want to add that certificate, so you can see certificates zenye ziko hapo one, that is that one. Then out of 4 kuna certificate moja ya Google Analytica, then kuna certificates kama ya Android. So you can add your certificate here. So if I want to add another certificate, I will just come here and add my certificate. So you just give out the link to your certification. I can add my portfolio. Portfolio simply means it will entail what was I doing. So you can add your portfolio. Then after adding your portfolio, you can now submit your proposal. But I say this is something that is new here on this end. All these, whatever portfolio and adding certificate is on the part of profile setting. Hizi waliongeza juzi, so haikuwa. So if you don't want to add your portfolio, you will only click submit proposal, because I said portfolio is while you are generating your account. While you are signing up for that account, you can set up everything, including portfolio, adding certificates, and the interest. Then once you are done with that one, you can now come and submit your proposal. You go through the tasks that the clients want you to do, and you submit your proposal. That is Upwork. We have this platform. Let me just click on that one. It's talking about remote jobs, and mostly we call it IMA. This is the name. I don't want to pronounce it. May get to pronounce otherwise. So these are giving out remote jobs for developers. You can see. So SR backend engineer. These are the tasks that they are going to do. So you can see 4K to $6 bar that task. So also you can try this one, this platform. We have been trying, and apart from that one, it will give you that opportunity to use a team viewer even while you are submitting a task and all those. You can reach your client. They are always giving you that opportunity, a remote server while you are developing your course. Those are the platforms that are picking up, and other platforms. There are several online platforms when it comes across. That is why it said new platforms are joining market, other platforms are exiting. So for those that are joining market, we need to be able to make sure that you are utilizing. Apart from that one also, I know when we talk about GitHub, you can just have a GitHub account. If you haven't set up a GitHub account, you can just Google GitHub account. You can use your command, that is what you call Windows R. Then you get there, you click, you write the code command line. I don't want to share that one, but have we done it that one? Let me just get to see. So what our command line, we can go to GitHub and just see the chat section kama kuna swali. So okay, sir. So someone is talking about AI. I thought there is a question that is coming across. So I'm talking about GitHub. So here, because you know, in my session I have to highlight about website, LinkedIn, GitHub, and other platforms. So LinkedIn is a professional site. You can generate your LinkedIn profile, build your profile also in LinkedIn, because when you are having what you call direct clients, at times in these platforms, you can obtain a client who wants to engage you outside this platform, and they are trusted clients. A client may tell you, for example, I'm working with a certain company, give me your LinkedIn profile. So when we talk about LinkedIn profile, yes, LinkedIn is a social media platform, but it is a professional social media platform whereby you can build your profile. I can say, I am so and so, since I've graduated, what have I done in a certain company, what did I accomplish in a certain company, company B, what did I accomplish? My duties were like this one, and I accomplished this one, and I can have people to recommend me. So if I, for example, if I got another opportunity to join another organization, then I can have people who are working together in a certain this organization or other organization to recommend me. That is why we are saying you get that opportunity. So recommendations are part of your building your profile. If you go to LinkedIn and you can see the profiles of the corporate CEOs, you'll be able to see their journey of working since they completed their studies. What have they done? What are the accomplishments they made to those organizations they have worked with? What are the recommendations from the people whom they were working together? And also the interest, education, and certifications that they have. That is what you call building your profile. So internationally, if someone wants to see you in your journey of your life career, someone may ask, do you give me your LinkedIn profile? Especially for those of us whom you can go across international NGOs, they normally ask about what we call LinkedIn profile. So that LinkedIn profile, you'll be able to click on that LinkedIn profile, see your profile. What have you done? What do you know? You say, I'm a programmer. What have you done as a programmer? Which skills, language that you're using, and maybe your GitHub accounts, because in LinkedIn, you can add external like accounts. You can link with the GitHub. So that client will just go across and anaiangalia vitu zako zote anasema this person is qualified to be given this job. I think I'm making sense to you. So LinkedIn is also good. GitHub, I said you can start by searching GitHub online and you can set up an account and you can now do what you call pushing your codes to GitHub. For those whom they are using Linux, command line. So while we're wengine usishangae nikisema command line. So we said you need to install. So you set up the environment for that GitHub. For starting like GitHub get in global, then you can now go to signing up that GitHub. Then ni hivyo hivyo tu unasonganga kutoka mwanzo mpaka kule mbele, si ndivyo? Then you make sure that you install, you can have set environment, you clone your codes or what you call cloning GitHub, then you are set up to go. The procedure are in online, so I don't want to share it here. I don't want to go through it here because najua time is not on our side. Kuna kitu nilikuwa nataka tukufanya kule mwisho because of other issues. So I think with that one, with your LinkedIn profile, it is good. If I share my LinkedIn profile, I know normally any person that comes across, there is someone that I'm just using for our case. Allow me just use it in our class for purposes of learning. Most of the time, most of government's CSS, they are in LinkedIn. If you are very keen, any item they are doing, they put it in LinkedIn, especially those that are very young. If you go to a profile for the former CS or what you call CS for ICT, Joe Michelle. Joe Michelle was in Kukul. After profile yake, you can just read through. The others, like the likes of CEOs of corporate organization, even Safaricom CEOs, will be able to see their profile in LinkedIn. Why? Because that is, it speaks a lot about you. Instead of saying, yes, let me have your CV. So in that LinkedIn, it speaks a lot. And that is why any achievement that we normally do, even when I do a little task, I put it in LinkedIn. You can have people recommending you that you accomplish a certain achievement in a single day because you are building your profile. It will speaks a lot about you than the way you are going to describe yourself. Um, in digital platforms and digital technology, the most thing is personal branding, the way you are going to brand yourself. That is the most critical thing is your personal branding. Personal branding speaks a lot about you and everything. Strategies, let us go to the second item before maybe we go there. So in Upwork, we have what you call the terms of payment. Payment can be done after you completed the task that is on contract, or it can be done after you are done with a project. That is why we talked about milestone end by project. Most of the tasks, they'll have to pay you per project. most of these tasks that are dealing with IT-based jobs, they are paying you per project. Task for data entry, for example, it can pay you per hour, but for IT-based jobs, they pay you per project. Example is a client has told you to develop a website. We cannot measure the way you are going to develop a website in a single day. So what the client does is to give you a sub budget. Develop this website with $30, period. So it means you are going to take between 1 to 2 months to complete that task, and you'll be given 20,000 Kenyan shillings, for example, or 30,000 Kenyan shillings for that project. The client will not pay you according to the number of hours you are going to work, because of this task requires technical skills. So anything that requires technical skills on online work platforms, they pay you per project. So a client will wait for the final project for you to pay to get your money, because you are not going to be paid per hour. So it will be per project. So it simply means you will develop whatever you are developing for the client. You submit your source code and you submit the output. The client will test everything from scratch. Then that client will say, you did a wonderful job. You are paid, and others. So there are those that other clients. I'm just talking about even in Upwork and other profiles. You can get a class that are telling you to develop for them some website, anything that deals with development, programming language, and ABCD. The client can tell you, I'm going to pay you like $20, $20,000. A client can say, I'm going to pay you 50,000 Kenya shilling to design a website, period. So that client will only wait. In our assumption, those clients may not be even understanding about IT technology. So a client anataka do something that is work. So it is you to provide everything na unamalizia. There was certain example of a certain institution that had purchased ERP system without the source code. If you purchase an ERP system without a source code, then it simply means you are not owning that ERP, for example, because of what? You don't have the source code, you don't have the everything. So at some given, the developers can make sure that that ERP can fail to work, so that they come in for maintenance. How can that? So that is why I was advising, like, if you purchase this item, then it means it belongs to you. So if it belongs to you, then you need to be having the source code and everything, so that you are the one to maintain, rather than someone coming in to maintain and they were developing and they will be they will be questioning, or they will be in need of that maintenance fee. Are you getting that one? So that is why, if you are not having that resolution, you have to understand everything, it will be hard. um As we are going on with the session, because I had requested maybe ABCD because of classes that I'm handling tomorrow. So I'm requesting to end up at around 9:15. So in between, you can ask your question as I'm going through. So maintaining life between freelancing, your career growth, and personal life might be a challenge, especially when it comes to people who are dealing with IT, programming, and any other task. Um, we love to code, we love to learn new ideas, new platforms, and others. So that is why, as so much as you can, we try to maintain a balanced life. As programmers, I know there was certain instance using my case, and this is a case of personal life. There's a certain time I almost entered into what you call a depression mode. Starting in class full time, being a freelancer, and bidding for jobs and learning and coding. All lives were revolving in what you call laptop. You see, there must be an end of whereby you need to separate laptop from us as developers. That is a personal advice, and it's a personal opinion coming from me. Sometimes we are entering too much into what we are doing until you lose time even to rest. So as a freelancer, the way we always advise ourselves is to make sure that once you are done with a single task, then you have to take a rest. It's better to take a rest, then you resume your task. Even you can attest to earth that sometimes you're working a lot of tasks, a lot of learning, codes are not functioning. ChatGPT nowadays is there, but I always advise people, whatever you are copying in ChatGPT, just go through it, understand the syntax on how each and every language is used, the way the language is written. Just have the syntax in your head, so that even when you go to ChatGPT and you copy the code, you know the syntax. There comes a time a single error will make your project not to run the whole day, na mtu tu anakuja anakuambia kuweka tu koma hapa na ina run. So that is why we always say, I always advise my teams, let us understand the syntax. Any other thing will flow. We get to learn, we fall down, we rise and move. So it's better because once you are making those mistakes, you are correcting yourself, you become a guru. That is my advice to you. Another thing that I see, uh, someone tells you, how do you deal with a client who doesn't want to pay? Uh, Let me just start by saying Telegram and these platforms that you are talking doesn't have any relationship. Telegram is a social media platform. So if you see a client that is taking you to Telegram, then know that that client anataka kuoshe. Hiyo ni kitu ya kwanza, because that client will obtain your phone number through Telegram. That client may request for your email address. I've seen many that are complaining that the clients fails to pay me and all those. So we always say, where did you meet with that client? Telegram. I tell them, hapo tu umeandwa, because that client will block you. Other platforms, they do it like that one. So you have to make sure that, yes, some cheeky clients will come to Upwork and they post jobs. Then when you go to that messenger, they will give you their Telegram links. What you're going to do, report them to Upwork. When you see them giving you Telegram links, fanya nini? Contact Upwork support. They will be able to block those clients. So you have to make sure that you understand what you call the security threats that are coming with these online work platforms. Another thing, if you see a client that is requesting you to pay amount for you to get the task, don't pay. I have sent some proposal via Upwork, however, no response. Um, it depends, Wendy Njuguna, with the way I was talking about. Don't ever submit a proposal if you see a client is interviewing someone. That is a red flag. Inamaanisha out of watu 20, if the client is interviewing 2 people or 1 person, then it simply means that person can be given that job. The client has gone through the profile. Now may make conclusion. Aseme this and this person I'm going to interview them. So it is not good for you to apply for jobs that are interviews are ongoing. That is number one. Another thing, when you are submitting your proposals, it depends with time. Mostly for United States, they normally post jobs during at around almost from 4 p.m. Kenyan time to around 12 midnight. In between, you can apply for their task, because also time factor comes in. When is it daytime in their country? It might be daytime in Kenya and it's nighttime in their country. So you have to balance what are the most types of tasks, like when wanapeana saa ngapi most of the time. So kama ni between 4 p.m. to 12 midnight, so you have to make sure that you be the first one to bid around that time. You see, during the daytime, like 8 a.m. in Kenya, they are still sleeping at around midnight in their country. Upwork majorly is for United States, and that is why whatever we are talking about, it revolves around time. If the client is coming from Australia, you have to understand their time zone. So that when you are submitting a proposal, it might be daytime in Kenya, you are submitting a proposal, and that client has not yet come back to Upwork. So inamaanisha it will be changamoto. Then those jobs that have been staying for long in Upwork, kama 5 days, 6 days, usi apply. See the job that is posted immediately, like 10 minutes ago, and you are seeing people have applied. Just apply for that job, especially if there is no one being interviewed. Just apply for that job. Then make sure that you write everything in detail. You have your profile crafted well. You will not miss to get a client. Then the last one, we normally talk about what you call referrals. I can refer you through my profile or my platform for you to be given that task. There's what you call referrals. So in between, we normally have what you call a client. You see, there are those people whom they have generated client's profile. I can give you a job that is not existing, and I can create you and say, Wendy was working on this project. She did ABCD. She's a very resource person and all those. So when you go and apply for other tasks from from other clients, you have an upper arm because I've rated you. In our Kenya, we always have what you call a breakthrough to make sure that we are breaking all these aspects. Mentorships happen through AJIRA Digital Program. I know we always cooperate. Bill can attest. So we offer mentorship. Mentorship happens, and that is why nowadays we are coming up with what you call boot camps. Boot camp simply means we'll be having a certain expertise where we can have people competing, showcasing their talent, and we can do what you call creator and maybe give some award. So inakwanga hivyo. So any other question?
Yes, let's ask questions. Cheruiyot is almost leaving here, like around 2 minutes. Let's do some justice to those 2 minutes before it's now 1 minute. Okay, so I take it there is no more question. I'm right. Yes, so let me take this opportunity to thank you so much, Cheruiyot, for joining us. And we've learned so much from you. And I know that the information that you've shared today with us in this session is going to change a few lives. There are people who joined and they never knew that we even when you're still in college or maybe you just a Form 4 leaver, you actually can get some skills and get paid out there when you're still waiting to get a permanent position. So this was really good, and you took your time to actually show us how to do it, and actually you chose a platform that is very common, and I know so many people have interacted with it, and maybe a few of us didn't know some of the details that you've shown us today, but I know after this, when you'll be bidding for those jobs, you have some extra knowledge to do better. So I know from here we'll be getting some good feedback that after this you did this and you're earning this and that. Now I don't know whether Cheruiyot has left. Okay, so I just want to summarize. I want to summarize this, but before I do that, I know if you are here from the beginning until now you know that the best thing that you need to do, there are these things that you can actually do so long as you have a laptop. Don't sit back and wait. I know you can have other side hustles. I mean, it's a hustler nation, right? It's now publicly, or let me say, it's officially a hustler nation. So as you're hustling, and you have a computer somewhere, maybe you can spare some 2 or 3 hours after your side hustle somewhere or after your job. Make sure that you upskill, because when you upskill, you realize that when you have a lot of skills on your plate, you can actually apply this and hustle somewhere. You can do this and that. At the end of the day, make sure you don't have. At the end of the month, make sure that when the payday comes, you don't have one paycheck. Make sure you have at least 3 to 4. And I hope you've seen that in the field of IT, it's very possible. If you invest your time in tech and learning something in tech or upgrading your skills in tech, you can never go wrong. There's no single day that you're going to tell me that you did this thing, you did this course in it related to tech, and then it's been 2 years, you've not earned anything with it. With IT, when you're learning anything that is related to tech, make sure that you are money oriented. What am I going to earn with this? And that is what brings us to Bengo Hub. As much as we offer courses, we also offer such sessions like this, actually mentor you and mentor those people who are uh, signed up with us or currently taking the courses to just know the opportunities that are outside there. Apart from that, we also organize for networking sessions where we actually get to meet people who are in the market, people who are in the field, and actually also get to meet the employers out there. Remember what I told you? Jobs are there, and I can tell you that for sure. Before I got my first job as a developer, the bigger barrier that was there was these people really needed like 3 developers. But just picking some, actually, when it comes to private companies, leave alone the public ones, it's a bit easier because they advertise the government requires them that they advertise that or they gazette their jobs. For the private companies, and those are the major, okay, I'll answer that. Do you organize internship? I'll answer that. Actually, currently we have around 2 interns, right? Yeah, Mr. Bingo will answer to that. Um, so before I got that job, it was a private company. So before I signed up with that company, I did like 3 interviews. And then that was not enough. These people, they still wanted to do what we call live coding session with me, just to make sure that I was not going to mess them up. Now with private companies, the jobs are there, but they're like, um, it's very competitive because there are many. So if you get there and then you mess something up, then they lose a client. It can almost ruin the reputation of that business. So you realize that they are there, they need people. And when you get there, you realize that there's a lot of there's a lot of opportunities that actually are in that company. But the gap that is there is that they need somebody to actually assure them that you're going to deliver. So when it comes to hubs like Bengo Hub, now when we organize for networking with these employers, we go to them as the trusted entity. Now, when we give them people that we've trained, they will for sure trust them to deliver because they are very well acquainted with our quality and what we offer. So they know that if somebody has passed through Bengo Up and all that, and they're actually given a certificate, then this is somebody that we can trust to deliver. So that is something that is there. So that's why I'm saying if you get an opportunity to upskill, make sure you do it. So I'm going to just share my screen here. If you are a beginner or if you are intermediate, and I saw people here with very good profiles even before, they shared much, just what they were doing. You can always upscale and you can always maybe find a way to network and get to the top of the need. So let me just share something here. So it doesn't matter whether you're intermediate or joining for the first time or you're at beginner level, but let me tell you one thing for sure, with IT, you can never go wrong. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen. So if you go to bengohub.co.ke, that's our official website. Let me just share it somewhere. So if you go to bengohub.co.ke, this is our official website. You can read about us. We do these are a few services that we offer. This is just an overview, but the main reason why we came up with the hub was for a Digitica program. How do we digitize the youth and prepare them for the for the job market. And how do we bridge that gap of so many people have graduated, or we have developers, but they are not yet linked to maybe somewhere they can work or something like that. So through our program here, if you go through our program, we're able to mentor you. We're able to learn about soft skills. And then at the end of each course, what we recommend normally is how do you market yourself? You're going to, at the end of the soft skill course, you're going to be required to revamp your CV, and you're actually going to share that CV. That is part of the program. You're actually going to do a CV that will be approved by a team at Bengo Hub to just make sure that, okay, this is now good. This is something that you can present outside there. So I want you to concentrate on Digitica program. And if you just click on this link up here, Digitica courses, you can actually go to the next page where you'll see a list of courses. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. So like the full stack software engineering course, that is paid. That is where we teach you both backend and front-end development. And it is at the end of this course that we will revamp your CV, and we may also offer internship based on your performance during the course. But at the entry level, if you are a beginner, there is a free Python course. We actually give an annual degree certificate at the end of this. So if you pass, we're normally going to give you an annual degree certificate to show that you took a course in Python with Bengo Hub. And on top of that, based on your performance or based on how maybe the Digitica team will decide, some of us, some of our students some of them get free scholarship to actually do this software engineering course for free. But if you're not lucky enough, you're going to pay for this software engineering course. It's only $203. That is around 30,000 Kenyan shillings. That is, I think, the cheapest that all the hubs in Kenya are charging. If you look at what Moringa is charging, it's around 120,000, but they normally give a discount, so it's around 80. Yeah, and if you compare with the other hubs around, you realize that we are actually the cheapest. And at the end of that, you get a lot of benefits, and we may even offer you internship at Bengo based on how you performed. Yeah, so in the Python course, this is just a short curriculum of what we do. We start by introducing you to GitHub, because you need to know how to store your code, start building your portfolio right from GitHub. So we teach you about GitHub, and then finally we just introduce you to, we will introduce you to Python, teach you a few units in Python that is for the beginner level or intermediate level. And some of the things that you get to learn, you get to learn introduction to Python, or if you've never learned about programming languages before, you get to learn about that. You get to learn about operators and how they are applied in real life, how to take input and output from user, how to deal with files, or how to read a file into your program. Control flow, this is there in any programming language that you're going to interact with. This is how you learn how to control data within your program or your system. And then finally, you're going to learn about functions. Now that you've learned about control flow and data and all that, can you combine that within a function and build something? And that is not enough. We also get to teach you, or we now working with objects and advanced data types. And of course, error handling is something that we cannot, you cannot, there's no program that you can do without doing some proper error handling. So this is the last thing that we do in that Python course, and it is totally free. And then the software engineering course, now we go ahead and now you start with basic web fundamentals, where you learn the basic CSS and HTML. And then after that, you go to advanced HTML topics. And then the core language that we're using here, we are systematic because we are using Python. And if you can see, there's a rising eyebrow for the need to utilize and analyze data, because you realize that over the years we've been collecting data and there's a lot of data outside there that need to be analyzed for people to make decisions. And they needed people needed a language that can actually be easily integrated with AI and do machine learning and create models, deploy them, and also something that can, at the same time, be able to create analytics dashboard or create an app that can easily host your model online somewhere so that people can be able to interact with it from an interface. So if you look at our line of how we are doing this, we start with Python, and then there is a Python framework which is called Django, built on top of Python. And this is what is going to help you as much as you're going to do Python to do data analysis and build your models, machine learning and all that. You can combine all that after deploying your models and build either API endpoints with Django REST framework, or you can build an MVT application and be able to showcase your analytics from the data that, or you can even use it to do a custom software or something like that. So if you look at that, you realize that at the end of this, we make sure that we've really exhausted on this language. And with the power of Python, you can actually do so many things with this. So it is also in this course that you're going to do, we're also going to teach you about front-end technologies, and specifically we are using Vue.js. Vue.js was introduced. It's not been there for that long. The React and Angular came before it, but this language is so the front-end language is so light, and it is improving so faster, and it also has a rich community that most companies have adopted it and actually using it to develop their systems. And it's also easy to learn, just like the way Python is easy to learn. Vue.js is easy to learn if you've worked with React or Angular. Yeah, so these are some of the things that you get to learn. So I don't want to go deeper into this. You can just take your time, go through this. I think there's a link that has been shared. You can actually show your interest to sign with us when you sign that form. Yes, so make sure that whatever you're doing, at least you are moving, whether you're crawling, whether you're walking or whatever, make sure you are moving on and improving. And the only way, one of the ways that you can do that is make sure that you are upskilling and increasing your ways of earning. So I want to take this back to Mr.